Hey, this is Teresa Giacino from the Mary Sue. Let's talk about that Captain America Civil War trailer. As much as I squeed in my reaction video to the first trailer for this film, this is the trailer with real meat on it. This is the trailer that shows us it's not just another cool, explodey superhero movie. It's a movie that deals with real-world issues and concerns. But before I get to that, let's talk about Captain America. While I love Iron Man immensely, I've always thought that the Captain America films were the strongest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because of all the characters, his stories feel the most grounded in average, everyday humanity. Tony Stark has always been a genius and a privileged rich kid turned global entrepreneur, while developing weapons of mass destruction. His life and his story have always been larger than life. Whereas Steve Rogers was an average guy to whom extraordinary things happened. Watching a Captain America movie, you're more likely to wonder what you yourself would do in any situation in which Cap finds himself. And since he's a genuine, earnest person, he always ends up being the person you want to emulate most of the time. So it's interesting that, rather than making Civil War an Avengers film, since it needs this huge cast anyway, Marvel chose to make it a Captain America movie, giving us a very definite point of view with which to view it. The thing is, in films, after being unfrozen in the present day, Cap has become increasingly hawkish in his methods when saving the world. Not only hawkish, but more convinced that superheroes have to work on their own terms in order to be the most effective, and that he's the best arbiter in how that should be done. Meanwhile, Tony has always had that kind of freedom. Because he wasn't ever average, he was too often above oversight, and knows firsthand the damage that kind of freedom can do. Now let's talk about real-world issues and concerns, because watching this trailer forced me to wrestle with how real-world events I've lived through have changed my perception of the conflict in Civil War. When the original Civil War Marvel Comics event happened in 2006, the Superhero Registration Act was eerily reminiscent of the Patriot Act, which the United States made law shortly after the events of September 11, 2001. The Patriot Act, in theory, was supposed to fight terrorism and keep Americans safe, but in practice meant that citizens were giving up the privacy they had a right to by law, and increasingly under the watchful eye of the state. That's some Orwellian shit right there. So when I read Civil War, me being the proud liberal I am, I of course sided with Captain America, because how dare the government ask superheroes to register and be kept tabs on? How dare? Yet watching this trailer in 2016, it's Tony Stark's words that ring truest to me. We need to be put in check. When watching the action of this trailer unfold, I couldn't help but think about Ferguson, Baltimore, and Black Lives Matter. I couldn't help but think of all the times when the powerful have abused their power to oppress already marginalized groups. I couldn't help but wish that Tony Stark's words, "We need to be put in check," were being uttered by police commissioners across the country instead. A sign that they know that with great power comes great responsibility. Oh my god, it's Spider-Man, you guys! Spider-Man! And Tony Stark calls him Underoos. And he has an actual kid voice because he's actually being played by a kid for once. Ah! Look at cute little Spider-Man with Cap's shield. He's the best. Ahem. Anyway, it's interesting what 10 years will do. In 2006, I was totally Team Cap. In 2016, I'm Team Iron Man. What side are you on? Captain America Civil War. This time, there's Spider-Man! Oh my gosh, he's so cute!